Alright guys, MCU Collector here with the 6th video and final figure that we have in the Marvel Legends series, Marvel Knights Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave, also known as the Netflix wave. So here we have Bullseye. So really cool Bullseye logo there in the front, and at the top you kind of see you just have like kind of a Target Bullseye logo. So very nice. Here you can have a product shot of the figure in the back. He has that really cool throwing effect there. The bio reads, motivated by a personal vendetta against Daredevil, Bullseye becomes an expert assassin, demonstrating an exceptional ability to use nearly any object as a lethal weapon. So very cool. We have a very nice artwork here on the side. We have kind of some of the card effects. Wish he would have come with some of those, maybe in the throwing effect, have an additional one, but he has thrown the knives, so it's still very cool. But let's let's open up the figure and take a look. All right, so here we have the final Man-Thing Build-A-Figure piece, and again, just like the other arm, great sculpt, great paint and wash in there, and then we'll take a look at the figure in its entirety in the next video. But here with Bullseye, we'll look at some of the accessories that he comes with. He does come with alternate hands, so you don't always have that effect hand, but here we have kind of a trigger finger left hand. On the figure already has the right trigger finger, so we have that there. And then here for the alternate left hand, he kind of has that pointing hand there. It's just all white for as part of the gloved uniform. So very cool. He has an alternate head sculpt, an unmasked head sculpt there, so you can kind of see kind of that bullseye target in his forehead. So I'm not real familiar as far as his comic history or anything. My only exposure to the character is really from the old Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, which wasn't very good. But Colin Farrell, I think he's a good actor. Probably not his best performance in that movie there. But really cool head sculpt. Looks pretty crazy, so I like it. We'll take a look at that on the figure later. But out of the package, and he has the pistol, which looks like it's the same pistol that actually came with Agent 13 Sharon Carter. So not a very realistic looking pistol. Mine's a little bent there. No paint or anything, it's just a flat plastic. And this one is actually very thin, so very careful with that. And then he also comes with a little knife. So no paint really in there other than the black handle, just a flat gray blade, but the sculpting does look pretty good there. So let's take a look at the figure. So I originally thought this figure was going to be on the Pizza Spidey mold. It looks like it's actually on the Spider 2099 or the Sunfire body mold, so that newer mold. So it's not quite as thin as the Pizza Spidey, but it does still have kind of those butterfly joints in there. Now, what's really cool is this figure is not black like I thought. It's actually kind of a very, very dark navy blue. And I'm not sure if it comes out that way through the camera, but it is a blue color, not really a black. So very cool. We have this holster piece here. Looks like it does clip there, but it's a nice holster for the gun, and you can see it kind of goes around his leg, and it actually is kind of all one piece, but you can see it unbuckles there, so you could remove it. You could take it on and off if you'd like. Actually seems a little tricky to get it back on though, because you gotta really get it there, but still very cool. Take a close look at this head sculpt. Very nice. I think I'm actually going to display him this way. He doesn't have as much of a menacing look, but as far as the paint, I think they did a really good job even getting the eyes through that mask. I think they did a very, very nice clean job there. As far as articulation, you can look up all the way, can look down all the way. We have those butterfly joints, so we have that upper arm swivel there, double jointed elbows. His wrists do swivel and they do hinge there. He does have an ab crunch, crunches down all the way forward, crunches quite a bit back, so that's very nice. Not a little bit. This is going to hinder the range of motion on his left leg, but he does go there. But upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. You have the shin swivel there, and then ankle rocker. Paint apps are pretty clean. There's not a whole lot to it, but the white that is done for the most part is molded. Like here it's molded with the blue actually being the paint. Here the white is painted on, and they did fairly clean. The lines are fairly straight and clean, so not bad. But look at the throwing effect, which is really cool, because just like with the Secret War Captain America on the Abomination Build-A-Figure wave, kind of had that same thing. So they just kind of have a hand. You can see the hand's actually kind of a clear plastic, and they painted white over it. But it really gives it nice throwing effect there with like 3 daggers that he threw. So it's really nice that we're getting special effects on those kinds of things. But to switch it out is easy. You just pop the hand right off, and then you could pop any hand right on in. And he has that kind of pointing at you look there. Very nice. The gun will fit right into the holster there. There it can stay. Unfortunately, oh, look at that. We do have a sheath for the knife right there in back. So you can store the knife when he's not using it right on the back of the figure there. Fits in nice and snug. It's not going anywhere. But there he is. There is Bullseye. So pretty good looking figure. Real quick before we go and head out, we will take a look at the unmasked head. Just like with any other figure, you want to pop it right onto the head there. Nice and snug, not going anywhere, and he has a very menacing look to him. So I actually do prefer the masked look, but a very good figure. Now I hear, and again, since I'm not a Toy Biz collector at all, I hear the Toy Biz Bullseye is one of the best Toy Biz figures that they've made. I don't doubt that, but this is still a very, very good figure. It's a good body mold. I really like it. You know, it's not too thin, but it does have that nice range of motion with the butterfly joints. But there's Bullseye. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks.